Okay, so the next one is social factors. So we need to remember that there are certain social factors which also becomes the causes of poverty. Right? For example, let's say in India, right, most of the people, right, they are involved in, or they practices, or they do very expensive rituals, right, whereby that ultimately becomes a social cause for poverty, isn't it? But in terms of economic factor, we can take an example of agriculture. Most of the people who are involved in agriculture, and when they need to buy like very expensive inputs for their agriculture field, then that particular situation also becomes the cause of poverty. All right, so with this, right, we have 6 different causes of poverty so far we have covered, right? After this, I'll just give you an overview of the poverty cycle. Right? So let's say let's begin with the top, right? Poor household list. Right? So poor household, what happens is they will be having very limited food stock, right? Food. At the same time, since they are poor, then definitely they won't be having a proper access to safe drinking water, right? And due to their own situation or condition, right, they are unable to send their children to schools, right, because they don't have enough money to pay for the fees of their children. Then again, they will be very prone towards diseases, right, as we have discussed. Like we can use words such as vulnerable towards diseases, right, infections, and they don't even have enough energy and skills to work, ultimately leading to low productivity. So because of the low productivity, it almost end up with no income or low income. All right, so once the family or the particular person has a very low income, then definitely he won't be able to meet his basic needs and requirements, and that's how it leads to low self-esteem and to no personal control, right? Since they have not gained education, right, so what they have is very huge family members, very huge family, right, and child birth rate they pay right, and at the same time, these are the people, right, who get sick very readily, right, and they are dependent on their children, and that's how the child labor comes in a picture. All right, so this is the cycle that goes on in poverty. All right, after this we will discuss about the anti-poverty measures, or the government's program, or let's say the initiative taken by the government to eradicate poverty from the country. The current anti-poverty strategy of the government is based broadly on 2 planks. One is promotion of economic growth, and another one is targeted anti-poverty programs. 벤조디 yarga tang do la parwa yarga tang dos niwal hajola na ta yarga tang khasila nga jogi chik tablam ra ta chik khar sui 지금 봐 ta penetration nga jogi programs in a schemes in the khar saba to ba dito la ma shipra chang ba to ge. All right, so promotion of economic growth. So when we say promotion of economic growth, that means we are now the government would say, okay, the government is trying their best to somehow increase or the growth rate of a particular individual or community, right? So when it says low interest rate, so government, what they do is they now charges low interest rate, then it reduces the cost of borrowing. The cost of borrowing in Halaure, New Yasa Shugula, New Gun and Azola Teshambush Gavana, Rashimeva, the Teddy game and the Chikara, New Tikizita to dollar part, the law Masuvana thing and to bear Gangi Shambujina Lungurba. Chesa, ta Shunging and Hajare. 누야버 이내에 딜라야지 트레이드 뉴뉴시가고 엘라르데 뉴뉴시 잡소나 라시명 뉴양에 대한 망으로 도그로 봐 뉴양에 대한 망으로 도는 디감기 같이 그랬으나 호란조 조성에 망았던 거를 와 어디시를 시작하래 다 갈라고는 low interest rate 라도수 it reduces the cost of borrowing, and at the same time we need to understand and remember that it has low burden, right? Then and it increases the consumer spending and investment. Alright, so that's how it will ultimately boost the economic growth. Right? So economic growth widens opportunities and provides the resource needed to invest in human development. So once you have, let's say, charged or there is a low interest rate, then definitely now once you are able, so you will be focusing, or you will be try to send your children and invest on their education. So somehow it also motivates parents to send their children to education or school. After this, we will talk about the anti-poverty programs or measures taken by the government. So very first, we will discuss about National Rural Employment Guarantee Act of 2005. So this was the particular program or scheme, that government came up with, and it ensures 100 days of wage employment in a financial year to every household, whose adult members are volunteered to do unskilled manual work. The dinana khalla gorasna shungi kharichi bulana midin zola ra mchidani ngazugi chikolo gore lemel ha denge jorwa dige dilaya chikha lega sawatu de rwa dige de an nima gyagi chedo lega de rwa do shelega de mang cheji ta khandi do shelana ta ngana zo singa ngo na chik manual work lana zugi 수속이 내가 치야지 로로와 되게 돌았다 안스킬도 산주기 나 믹스기 안직 투제다 안직 이제 사가서 계시네 개미야 버치 안직 싱바시 송기 내가 치 인데기 스kim 사와직 되어 버치 라. So after this, we will be discussing about National Food for Work Program (NFWP), which was launched in 2004. The digi nalo khacher Food for Work Program nalo khacher na government gi khacher state government din zolaya ration or food supply so free of cost distribute here, but at the same time you have to remember that all the expenses of transportation will be taken by the state government, so it is more let's say appropriate to distribute a food grain instead of money. The 150 most backward district like nalo na chik ya thwe me barwa chik pet ko ma chilu ha dewe chik zong den ro ba tige dila mix shane ra ani the tablam di chik inare chik program dia introduce chevres ra and dikha cholan objective de mi so dikhala na supplementary wage employment nga ju dila lega chevering na lega di sabla nga ju lega chebe la ro la nga ju la ye chik data saduri di ma tam go res ra and nga ju gi mang chejan chik mi chu da ani lungku na lo da imba ne zong ro jina zong kya ga na zong kyo an jina la ya ti ani go chu res and mostly like mostly people they do unskilled labor la nga ju la ba ta king la chik 투제리 la chilo chong ikona chik shuj di me ba che an chik namju ani zonda chik chongse dio la lega chuma che jor ba dige to la chik shuni lega te. So after this we will talk about Prime Minister Rozgar Yojana. That the Rozgar Yojana la dusanga lega te da nimdu la di mixegi it was focused on educated youths, where let's say 7 lakh micro ventures by the startup chair whereas la ta chidana 7 ventures la khador chidana investment chisala orba. So it is a kind of a scheme where it facilitates the educated unemployed youths. 아니 그런서 내가 싸웠더니 내가 치 그런서 pension commerce 레는 아주 총대 레인 바이나직 양직 아주 가진이마 sectors of economy 라 아주 되어 service sector 인 바이나 양직 business 총다 대와 유비게 한 차례 아직 내가 싸웠는데 되게 돌아야지 직 타마탄줄라 한지로실라고 그랬으나 당초기 소라로지 조에 만나다 되게 돌아 변조가 돈을 로람 셰라 소바더라 되게 돌아야든 프라임 미니스터 로스가르 비즈널라 디 1993 저주도 게 스쿠주고 숨라 고조레스 라 담이그 초르디 가샤올나 걔가 나놀라지 미든조라지 poverty 나라 말레라 되게라 미수샤년 중딩연이다 디 탑람 되게 되와 주나브레. Alright, so after this we have Rural Employment Generation Program REGP, which was launched in 1995. That dina khala employment sawat tingi laure. Mixe gi ngajo rural la do sanjugi concept di wala orba. So in order to generate employment in rural areas, to develop entrepreneurship and entrepreneurial skills and attitude amongst the rural and employed youth. So mangche jitna harchigla na jo lopchun yue ba khashila lemel ha de ge jor ba dige la ya chik khogap sawa jite quran zo la chik chokpa chinju ne zu dinala so dun chi so we normally call it as SHGs la self help groups la isn't it? And to achieve the goal of rural industrialization, soda the chik tongsem na soda sawa zuya da soda gi chik dawa da soda gi chik prodan tolu shir ba dige de ba le and to facilitate participation of financial institution and dige na soda na la chik ani chik venture gi ta institution chopa de gi chik khala wala chik Mugituna ropa imana chik dinalo investment share nzurba digedi and so the shishan and sukitan rural employment generation program leti zures hola so ta digital hola swarna jayanti gram sarozgar yojana lesto SGSY lesto so it was launched in 1999 ta dinalo mix ta thingi ti khona lawat chibare ta dinalo mix ga self help group research so me khashis lemel ha na dige de samatsu zom and the kuran to genki ba khanshi le kuran to soda chinju na de na sodun she ko tsu and the lazo charan self help groups la roba and dige de mangje je yang soda chambu den gorsan juni ko mar ti yang azu khamba chinju na le imban ta minga to som dinalo ta pe special na azu chakta suya ta yala suya ta dige so korwa dige de sodun she ta tamadan jul migu so de khan kuran so le chi yombob chi suya dire ta chi oh yeah. So the main motive is to make them to earn their own livelihood, isn't it? So self-help groups were motivated, and even the government facilitates them with providing loans, and NGOs also comes forward in terms of providing loans, and at the same time financial institution. So when we talk about let's say issuing loans from banks, then they need to meet certain criteria. SSG soba chinju mi shis ki soba chiksu dina chala nima haji suani unugania te khazati pluya deni chinamsa raya deni yorasni dijuniyo mares ta quran soba chinju suana de soba chinju dilai so drin chiwe chasu khazu do mandruwa ani the reliable khazure do remed tigel shishan ta logic loni tende shishan the quran so progress lata and dile shisha be khanshila an mugani ya chike am puluen la ya tende sopa tende yo yes also so after that we have Pradhan Mantri Gramodaya Yojana so it was launched in 2000 and the main motive of this is to achieve the objective of sustainable human development at the level of at the every base level. So initially 5 components primary health today the primary health today the primary education primary level education and then rural shelter and lungu diwalta in banera concept ta quran so la khangba ya boch ra ta chik tembo ro chila korba tige ta ro and rural drinking water and chik quran so la chu thungchu in bana chik changchu changma shara thung nyu ro ta de ro chita anim de quran so la khala nutrition na zo chik selling na chu ro kan so ju dan dembe ta seri tige ta to thobe Titla Shishanen Mazuki Lana Shungi Tapshe, the scheme was Pradhan Mantri Gramodaya. Also, so after this we have like A and Y, that is Anyodaya Anna Yojana. So Anyodaya Anna Yojana and higher lesson Dina Harchi. So government they provided subsidized let's say food crops to the poorest of the poor family in the different districts of India. Around like 10 million of poorest family they are provided with these subsidized facilities where they are each every family are provided with 35 kilograms of rice and wheat at like 3 rupees and rupees 2 per kg respectively. The dinner khachel anna lanchidan zu seri laurwa gyagaiki tang zu gi nimjung laurwa chig mizan chuwa nalun chushu nalun tang zu gi quran zo la gyaga shung gi ni chig program de kharegi gyuni chebersna quran zo la seri duri ruwa mixi gitna de da zu thola urwa tige tu yan chig khongse 항상 유뉴시나라 다직 아마 잠버레서 하람 길로야 직 숨주송하시지와 데이터 저 토릭 저야 직 교알라 도 스텝레 다 조치슈 된거 가르스 되나 가르스면 당으로잖아 슝기 당한주기 직 세리 다 소소를 주 니말에 라 주시로와 체시조라 디아다다슬레수에 디베전식으로 했라 봐. Okay, after this, we have challenges ahead. So, though we have discussed about the poverty and the reasons, the issues related with poverty, and we also talked about the very objectives of the government or the schemes of the government. So now what are the fields, or which are the fields that still needs more attention from the government, or let's say what are the challenges that lies ahead for the government? So in that, we will be discussing about providing healthcare. So here in this case, right, now government need to focus more towards like providing healthcare in very base level, right? Every primary health center, sub-center, or like community health center, right? So there should be a proper, let's say, technology, or let's say medical technology, and at the same time the doctors and the nurses, right, which are required or there in particular that hospitals, right, should be or the number of those people should be increased, right, so that the people will ultimately gain the benefit of those healthcare system. Whereas in education, yes, government did came up with lots of schemes and let's say different strategies to let's say give education, right, to the poorest of the poor, but at the same time there are certain factors other than education, right, which ultimately drags the family to let's say make their children to work in some very early age, and with that there will be a high number of uneducated or illiterate people. And here in the third point it says job security for all leisure. Minas misudo shimbana lega capsule kola lega de teser in the koran lega chik secure yo the security na koran lega tempo chash ba. So gender equality there shouldn't be any differences in terms of, let's say, like salary or wage for, let's say, on the basis of gender. So mostly what happens is like even girl and boy, they do the same, or they perform the same job or task. They are paid differently, right? Boys are tend to pay more as compared to the girls, but gradually nowadays it's becoming more or less equal, right? Page wage minor payment page salary minor the cheaper gender equality like the page level tatalam less and dignity for poor. So ultimately poor should also government should lift them up from certain situation whereby they now won't be feeling let's say like low self-esteem. They also will be able to live with dignity among the community. So see what happened with poor people are always seen as in like very, let's say, useless, less valued in the community. So that certain things makes them feel like outcasts. Sometimes we can use such words for outcasts. program program digi kembe program 강도 들어있어 그러나 지금 보행면에 다직 저 스케줄에 데이터 스탑시 수에 되게 되는 저 칼라스나 슝기 다데 단나가도 다 지금 탑시에당 탑시 치에볼 때 인바이나 다 마음발에 되고 단도가야 지금 저기 나라 무투시다 야겠단 거야 인바이나 지금 디나라 내가 망으로 딴 거야 있는 거데 되게 돼 돈을 지금 내가 주고 그랬어